Ladies, I'm going to tell you right now, you are losing the gender war in 2021. Don't get offended. Just listen, okay? I would say that about 3 years ago, you were definitely winning. Unfortunately, yes, it has become a competition for both sides, especially the extremist groups, right? The third and fourth wave feminists, the raging red pillars, the black pillars, MGTOW, et cetera, et cetera. There is a war when it comes to the narrative, when it comes to dating, when it comes to child support, divorce, hypogamy, et cetera, et cetera. Right now, women are losing. And this is why. WAP culture. Let's start off with that real quick. You have now bastardized this word called empowerment. Right now, Eleanor Roosevelt would be flipping inside out in her grave. We went from suffrage. We went from equality when I went to the workplace, protection against sexual harassment, sexual assault, opportunities for women to be educated in STEM. And now in 2020, late 2020, 2021, we are in the OnlyFans and WAP culture. And again, you've bastardized it because you will go with the excuse of that's empowerment. A woman should be able to do what she wants with her body. Okay, I got that. But if you have the freedom to kill your self-respect, don't expect any respect back from us. And here's the other thing too, is that you don't really look out for each other. You don't. It becomes this very competitive, gossipy. I can't believe she's with this guy. Meanwhile, you're single and depressed, but you're really hating on your friend. Most men don't do that. Most men don't do that. We normally have our six. Okay, if you don't know what having your six means, it means they literally have my back. In the military, 6 o'clock, right behind me. Someone is watching the enemy from behind. Woman in the very emotional, very much fueled by this jealousy towards each other. So you can't even agree. On one side, you have people that are like, hey, woman, you need to show a little self-respect. If you hear it from a man, you go tone deaf, right? Because you think we're mansplaining. No. Show a little respect. You're someone's daughter, you're someone's mom, you're someone's sister. You might be a professional in your field, and you'd rather do the bust it challenge than self-improve. Do you see guys doing the bust it challenge? No, they're making fun of it. A lot of what I see, if you go to some of the popular social media apps, whether it's TikTok or Instagram, who's talking about financial discipline? It's not a lot of the woman, unfortunately. If you want to compare it to men or women, these are facts. All right. When you talk about investments, when you talk about who's teaching you how to set up IRAs, 401ks, 529s, speculation on the market on Bitcoin, any of that stuff, it's leveraging towards men. Book recommendations, I would say, are pretty equal. My viewpoint, again, is very not biased. You are going to go tone deaf because you're hearing this from a man. You're going to say it's just a guy who's saying all this. He doesn't know, because that's your knee-jerk reaction. You would rather put a lot more energy in what I'm saying right now and more hate and try to defend it than the WAP culture. And as I'm recording this, I'm literally pointing to the side because, yes, that's the other side. And deep down, you understand that these women that are dropping it like it's hot, right? Instead of sharing some information that could be helpful towards people, right? They want that validation through their physical looks because they feel that anything else is worthless that they offer. They feel like they don't have anything else to offer, and they're addicted to the likes. That's a problem. If we didn't have social media, we have a lot of other women that would be towards that path of self-improvement. And again, I flip it the other way. I understand that there are men that plain suck. I'll tell you this, I find it very hypocritical that men say they don't want to date a single mom because she's got kids and all this stuff and loud kids, and now it's got to be another stand-in baby daddy and whatnot. But yet these same guys that say don't date a single mom are teaching men to be the same scumbags that more than likely left that mom with those kids. So yeah, that's hypocritical on the guy side. But I want to focus this on the war, or if you want to call it the social media narrative war between men and women. Do not talk to me about how we need to put more money into STEM, how we need to stop sexual harassment, sexual assault. Okay, it's not mutually exclusive. Yes, we need to still protect women in the workplace, but don't tell me all this stuff while you're out here on an OnlyFans page wearing your company's logo. True story. That is a very true story. Female mechanic who was using time at her job to film some sort of scantily clad OnlyFans video wearing her company logo. Now, normally, I would call it sexist if they fired her, right? Because she did it outside of work. But no. Can you imagine? Can you just grasp if you're the manager of a company, you're paying an employee, they're wearing your logo. That's like reverse brand management. It's a public relations nightmare. If let's say you had the vice president of Tesla, okay, notionally is a woman and she's twerking on camera, it's going to be associated with Tesla. And on top of that, it's happening during company time. Okay. And what gets me above all, and probably this is the reason I saved this for last, is the lack of accountability. Again, that does not mean that men are not like this, that men are lacking in self-accountability. We saw what happened. We got a lot of people that are privileged in American culture that feel like they deserve more. They're angry because they're sitting on their ass watching the news all day. They feel like they deserve more. So what do? Ironically, they feel that their freedom is being infringed on. So they go storm a place that's actually practicing democracy. I find that ironic. But again, the lack of accountability on the female side. You see, I'm kind of being like a referee here. I'm looking at it both sides. There are women out there that feel they're entitled to a responsible, financially responsible, cool, freaky, dominant, tall, in shape guy, but yet they have not worked on their trauma. They haven't worked on their communication skills, their conflict resolution skills, but they feel like they deserve 6'6", 6 foot, six-pack abs, six-figure income. And all they got to their credit is a little bit of clout on Instagram or TikTok. And it's that lack of self-accountability or lack of self-improvement. Men are more realistic with our league. If you know you are underemployed, you're out of shape, you have a miserable personality as a man, you understand there is no way I'm getting some IG model. And normally the ones that think they do, those guys are a little squirrely in the brain, right? They're a little bit off. Those are the ones that show up to the gym and try to talk to women, and then they try to talk to women and they don't understand they're being rejected. And they come back and try to talk to women. And next thing you know, they start shooting up people because they were rejected. Those are weird people. But to be very fair, there's a lot of weirdos, and it's been normalized for females. It is normalized now. Instead of associating empowerment with educational opportunities, strength, being accountable. To me, that's being empowered. When you yourself don't need anyone else's validation, anyone else's approval, to me, that's empowerment. You are empowered when you have the freedom. But when all of a sudden you're being a slave to men's validation because of your looks, you're going back to the Stone Age of feminism, pre-feminism. You're going back to devaluing yourself as a prostitute, whether it's visual, whether it's actually physically being with a guy, whether it's this sugar baby culture. And the lack of self-accountability. So delusional that you think this is normalized. And your fallback excuse is, you know what? Well, I don't just, I can just do what I want. That kind of mentality. So this is what happens. This is why men are going their own way. This is why red pill movement is picking up. These are analogous to like social political movements, but it's in the dating sphere, the manosphere, the gender sphere, if you want to look at it that way. These are narratives. These are beliefs that are being passed on to other men, and you don't have an army of women proving them otherwise. You're actually supporting their beliefs. As extreme and as toxic as some of the red pill, black pill, MGTOW movements can be, you are ironically empowering that movement through your WAP culture. And again, I'm not going to generalize. This is not every man. This is not every woman. But if you're looking at the war, the narrative, right now, women have no leg to stand on. I'm not saying you're weaker. I'm not saying that could change because, again, I think that years ago, women were making a lot more sense. But right now, you're making dollars. If you want to look at it that way, cents, dollars, OnlyFans, get it? This is tough love. This is not from a place of rage. It's not from a place of hate. It's because we can all do better. So if I see the comments and I see guys saying, yeah, you're right, and women suck, I'm not going to put too much energy into that. What I want some rational, critical thinking. I want some reasons as to why. Don't get mad at me. Tell me why you think OnlyFans is okay. Tell me why STEM hasn't been promoted as a career field for women. Just tell me. Tell me what advancements have happened in the last year when it comes to narrative that deals with equality for women. Could be for men and women. Or have we popularized more dropping like a sod and other challenges? You tell me. That's the kind of comments I want to see from the guys. I want some rational thinking. I already read enough comments about child support, alimony, and how that is an advantage to women. Got that. Let's talk about how we can make this better for both sides. That's my mission.